This is one of those moments where I had to give my little two thoughts on the subject. Icy Rhythms, and then I saw a rebuttal. It wasn't a rebuttal, but Dark Cloud also did a response on this subject. As usual, Michael Pachter is back with his thoughts on whether or not casual gamers were even buying to the next generation of consoles. And it's interesting, Michael Pachter seems to think that the bottom will fall out. And of all people, Dark Cloud seems to think that the market will in fact be fine and that casual gamers will invest into this next generation. And for once, I actually have to agree with Dark Cloud. Nintendo figured this out this generation now. And it's funny to me, everyone in this YouTube community gave the Wii so much, crap about being what they would call a casual experience that was not dedicated to the hardcore gamer. But in fact, Nintendo had already figured out that for the market to continue to grow, and let's face it, guys, the overwhelming growth that the video game industry saw was because of the Wii bringing in the casual gamers. So I find it interesting for Michael Pachter to make comments that the casual gamer will not buy into the next generation. Well, typically, if it was left up to Microsoft and Sony, I would have to agree with those sentiments. However, that is not the case at all. When you really look at things, there's one company that seems to really know how to pull in the casual gamer and actually cater to them in a way that they have a fulfilling experience, and that is Nintendo. And what one must take into consideration why this will be achievable, of course, it's the backward compatibility. You see, Nintendo will take one step further with their well thought out implemented strategy of the continuation of support for all the extra accessories that they had in the Wii with the Wii U. So all of those peripherals that people, whether they're casual gamers or hardcore gamers, have come to accumulate at this point, there'll just be a natural transition with better HD visuals. And, Nintendo knows how to make that game that really seems to appeal to the masses. And, you hear so much crap about, I hear BG talking about it, and I've seen other YouTube people who discuss the subject itself, and they talk about, well, Mario this, Mario that. Well, let's face the facts. People enjoy the experience that Mario brings. It doesn't matter what the hardcore industry thinks. For whatever reason, 95% of the rest of the world loves Mario. Mario is a character that is easily recognizable, probably the most recognizable character in the video game business today. With that being said, the power of Mario represents an age where people can kind of almost have that nostalgic effect to where they can remember their youth and almost want to relive it again with the casual experience of going through Mario. Now, left up to, again, and this is just a rehash of what I said before, if Microsoft and Sony were the only two, companies that were actually still on the market, that statement would 100% be true. And if anything, it's more of a cop-out. Michael Pachter always likes to forget that Nintendo is in live. As much as he hates Nintendo, he hates to give them any credit. And so most of it, the things that he generally says, generally exclude Nintendo. It's as if Nintendo doesn't exist in his world. So, he says that market's going to dry up, but that's just based off of what he thinks Sony and Microsoft will do. Never mind what Nintendo will do with the Wii U. And as last cycle was, and this cycle will be too, he's going to be dead wrong, and you're going to see the continued growth. So, do me a favor though, YouTube community. Stop trying to ride Nintendo now, or try to take credit for what they did when you make these statements where, I think the casual market's going to be just fine and they're going to continue to grow. Or even if you're on the opposite end of that and you're saying that, yeah, the casual market is done. Your growth, all of that growth that happened in that, 7-year span, it was due to Nintendo. Think about that next time you're calling it a kiddie casual game that has no real purpose. Try to remember that.